We're back in the kitchen with Clint Woods, the executive chef of the Arrogant Butcher, which is in downtown Phoenix. And we're making pork and beans. And I said, I grew up on pork and beans. Like, you just open the can and we'd add some stuff to it. But this is from scratch.
Well, yeah, this is a little different, but the same idea. This is Tabbouleh pork, which is the best pork that you can get in the country. It's kind of equivalent to the Kobe beef, but with pork.
Can you get it at any grocer, or do you have to go to a special butcher to get
AJ's
it?
has this available sometimes.
Okay.
So if you special order it from them, they can get it to you.
All right. If we don't have the special pork, what could we use?
Just any, local pork, or there's a couple farms around town and stuff like that. So first thing, I'm going to show you how to marinate it, because that's kind of key. So here's our raw pork shank, and this marinade is chili flake, a little bit of fennel, and what's cool about this is all the tops from the fennel. So this is what everybody cuts off and usually throws away.
But so, not you.
Not us. We have a use for everything. So we're going to take a little bit of this, a little bit of fresh pig thyme.
Fresh what?
Pig thyme.
Okay. I thought you said pig thyme.
Pig thyme.
I'm like, I've never heard of
Goes
pig thyme.
with the pork and beans, right?
That's true.
A little bit of garlic. We're just going to kind of chop all this together.
Okay.
And now you want to marinate this. You want to make this kind of like a pesto. So really kind of thick, a little bit of oil to keep it together.
So the olive oil is going to be the liquid that's going to combine it all.
Yeah, and this is all the substance part. This is going to...
You're putting it all in this?
Yeah, I'm going to put it in there. And then we're going to let the pork kind of marinate overnight. The longer you can let the pork marinate, the better, for sure.
Okay.
So how we do it at the restaurant is we marinate it overnight, and then we cook it overnight. So the whole process takes about 36 hours. And we braise this for about 14 hours.
Okay. So it's a nice, long, slow process.
Yeah, so if you're doing it at home, marinate it for a long time, and then braise it at 200 degrees. A little bit of stock. So a little bit of olive oil. A little bit of chili flake in there. We want just enough oil to kind of...
Because that doesn't look like a lot. So
no, it's not at all.
Okay.
But
it doesn't need to be a lot.
It doesn't need to be a lot, no. It goes a long way, especially sitting overnight.
Right.
So we would let that sit.
Are we going to mix it or turn it, or just going to sit?
Well, yeah. Mix it up and then just put it in the refrigerator overnight. This is what we're going to serve the pork with. This is collard greens. So what I did here is I just braised it with a little bit of onion and bacon and a little chicken stock.
I've never had collard greens before.
Oh, when they're done right, they're amazing.
Have you guys,
so
anyone
good.
in our studio audience, have you guys had collard greens? Yeah? Am I the only one?
Kind of a southern dish.
Okay. Our producer Denise hasn't, so at least there's someone with us.
All right, so here we have the beans that we made. This is just baby white beans.
Okay.
We soak them overnight. And then when I came up with this dish, literally anything that was next to me, I kind of put in the baked beans. And I think that's how baked beans should be. So there's maple syrup, there's mustard, there's honey, there's molasses, there's
bacon,
ketchup, tomato paste. I mean,
hickory smoke,
tons of bacon. Yeah, it's Newski's bacon is what we buy, and just stewed down together for a couple hours. So we're going to finish this with these collard greens.
Okay, so just making sure that I understand. So you mixed all that together, and then you put the meat in it.
Right. So it's
separate.
I made the baked beans separate and the pork separate, and then when it's time to eat dinner, mix them together.
Okay. And real quick, what was the liquid for the base of the beans?
Molasses, maple syrup, ketchup, tomato paste, mustard.
You're talking my language.
A little bit of everything. Whatever you have.
You had me at bacon and maple syrup.
Whatever you have.
So you put the collard greens in it?
Yeah, we put the collard greens in it.
Oh, I wish you guys could smell it, all those flavors.
Yeah, it's so good.
Between the beans and then what you marinated in?
So good and so easy to cook at home, too.
Right.
You just need a few days ahead of time, but just throw it in the oven and kind of forget about it.
Right. Half the battle for me is just planning it, but this seems like an easy one to plan. Well, thank you very much. We're going to try this in a few minutes, and we also have a dessert that involves peanut butter. And what else? It's
peanut butter, chocolate, my favorite dessert ever, and the easiest one to make.
Perfect. You had me at easy.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, Stephanie, we're going to send it off to you. I've got your fork ready, so come on over here in just a sec.
I'm holding out for the peanut butter and chocolate.
Okay, fine. I'll take the pork and beans.